The cost of riding a BC ferry is always a contentious issue for people living on Vancouver Island and those who use the smaller routes up and down the coast. So what if the fare doubled or even increased by 20%? Would you still be all aboard? BC Ferries CEO says those kinds of increases in fares could be a reality unless the province steps in. A News reporter Louise Hartland has the story.
Outrage, anger, frustration.
That's the reaction NDP leadership candidate John Horgan says he's hearing from his constituents, with word ferry rates could balloon in the next 4 years.
And if you did an average fare increase, and this is just a guess on my part because he hasn't ruled on anything yet, you could be looking at somewhere between a 4 and 5% per year price cap increase for each of the years on the major routes, and it could be somewhere between 12 and 14% on the minor routes, and on the north, this will blow everybody away, it's 26%. So
per year for 4 years?
For 4 years.
So it's double. Better than double.
It's very substantial.
Hahn says the government has two options to avoid skyrocketing fares. It could cut back service or increase its subsidy to BC Ferries.
I haven't seen the numbers in a while, but I'm going to guess in the neighborhood of 25 million to take it down. Again, I'm doing this off the top of my head to 5% across the board.
That's on top of the $150 million in annual subsidies that BC Ferries already gets in taxpayer dollars. Most ferry travelers we spoke to say it's time for the government to step in.
If it's up to 50%, by all means, I think there's reason to do that. It's our highway.
Getting to be too much money that we hardly ever go over to the island anymore.
Horgan says that mentality and the increased cost of shipping goods could spell disaster for island business.
People that live in coastal communities look at the transportation network as a holistic thing. It involves our roads, it involves our airports, and it involves our ferry system. And we need to keep affordability in place or those communities are no longer viable.
Liberal leadership hopeful and former Transportation Minister Kevin Falcon says what Hahn is doing is negotiating.
We have an independent ferry commissioner who will look at his very bold request, will also look at government's position and very carefully make an analysis as to how much money they actually need. So I wouldn't get too excited about him talking about big increases and how much money they're going to have, or the world as we know it will come to an end.
Hahn says the commissioner will rule on a preliminary price cap by March 31st. The government will then have 90 days to review his decision, and the commissioner will make his final ruling by the end of September. That's when ferry users will find out how much more, if any, they'll pay to ride.
Louise Hartland joins us now with more on the story. Louise, the Transportation Minister weighed in this afternoon about Hahn's suggestion. What did she say?
Transportation Minister Shirley Bond says there is a lot of work to do before the final decision in September, so the public shouldn't panic. Bond says BC Ferries should also be looking for cost-saving measures that could reduce the impact on fare hikes.
All right, keep an eye on it, Louise. Thank you.